Pocket FM.
To unlock all the episodes, click the link in bio.
This rookie officer was treated like trash by his own seniors. Forced to clean the toilets and bathrooms of the precinct, scrub floors while other officers laughed, polish their shoes like a servant, not a fellow cop. But when this rookie's real identity was revealed, even the most powerful men in government would bow their heads.
Officer Seth Fain. Tonight's the night. Join up with SWAT. We're going after Julian Sinclair, the most ruthless mafia boss in Metro City. You're coming with us, right?
Isn't he a boot? His job is chasing cats out of rich people's gardens. If this coward even sees Julian, he'll piss in his pants.
Senior Officer Jasper had no idea that before this uniform, before these parking tickets, Seth was one of the most lethal soldiers in existence. A disastrous incident had forced him out. But that night, something was about to happen that no one could have ever dreamed of.
Hey, Boot, maybe you coming with us is a good thing. There's gonna be a shootout. We're expecting casualties. We'll need someone to pick up the corpses.
All team clear.
All team clear. Target is moving east on Sector 5.
Roger that. We're closing in.
We have you surrounded. Nobody moves. Anyone acts smart, we are not responsible for what happens next.
Before you worry about our deaths, you should think about your own.
Take one more step peeing, and y'all will be losing your families and your fellow cops.
I don't have time for mind games. Arrest him!
Will, right? Your girlfriend. She must be ending her night shift at the bar on 9th Weston Street. Want my guy to say hello? You thought getting me was a piece of cake? Jasper Kane. What about your girl? Isn't she a tech dev? Also, I have planted bombs in 9 precincts. Now you decide. Do you want to catch me and lose everything?
Officer Seth Kramer.
Inform dispatch bomb
Squads to all 9 precincts.
now!
This was a huge mistake, Mr. Kramer. We surrender. Please, don't kill us. Don't!
What are you looking at, fools? Surrender! We have no chance!
The secret of Officer Seth's life began in the West Point Medical Center, where he was counting his last breaths.
Doctor, will he make it? Will Seth be okay? We can't say anything until he's out of the coma. During the fight, Seth was injected with an experimental chemical. It's the only reason he survived the trauma. But that same substance has bonded with his blood. It's triggering a catastrophic breakdown of his physical functions. Strength, speed, endurance. All of it. We're looking at a severe ongoing decline. His body is fighting itself. Organ failure is likely. We don't know how long he has. You mean he's probably done? There's no place for someone like that in the wolf pack. It's all my fault. I'm responsible for what happened to him.
Jordan, tell me exactly what happened out there. A man like Seth doesn't go down this easily.
Sir, I was trapped in that lab. In Russia. Seth came back to save me. He could have left me behind. He didn't. Then, out of nowhere, a masked man appeared and stuck a needle in Seth's neck. One mistake, and my most capable officer is down.
Seth being out of the Army would be a devastating loss for the Wolfpack Division, a secret unit within the Military Intelligence Bureau. Only the most elite soldiers and officers in the country were ever selected. The intake rate, a mere 1%.
Seth, the results are back. Doc, whatever it is, just give it to me straight. Your explosive power, speed, raw strength, all your key metrics, they've fallen off a cliff. You've dropped from a grade A rating to a C.
To put this in perspective, a normal civilian held a D rating. A professional athlete might hit D+. The absolute minimum for Wolfpack consideration was a grade B. A C meant Seth was now barely stronger than a civilian, a world away from the elite.
Seth, your stats took a hit, sure. But your mind is as sharp as ever. You can stay on as an instructor. Help train the new blood. I appreciate it, sir. But I just need to get away. I want this place to remember me at my best.
I made a call. A friend at the Department of Public Safety in your hometown.
Metro City.
I understand. Don't forget what we discussed.
He had lost everything. His team, his honor, his home. Now he was just alone.
Up if you ready, say it loud if you ready. It's our time, we run it. Clap your hands if you ready. Stomp your feet if you ready. Let it be cause you ready. It's our time, we run it.
Rough night, I can make it better. I can go on the whole night.
I'm not your regular guy. I saw what you did. Get moving.
You're up.
Athena? How'd I get here?
You passed out at the bar. The bartender went through your contacts and called me. Cora got you out.
You'd saved my contact as wife.
Athena, I'm sorry. This is embarrassing. I'll leave right away.
The paparazzi circle my house like vultures. If they spot you, it'll only take a moment for our secret to get out.
Why are you back after all these years?
I'm done, Athena.
So... you're out?
I'll be working in Metro City for a while. We can keep living our own lives. I meant what I said about not interfering with yours.
You don't have to remind me. You've done a great job of that for the last 3 years. What's the plan now?
My CO hooked me up with something. Patrol duty to start. Just a beat cop. But I'm not giving up on my dream.
I envy you. Still having a dream.
Athena, this is from your agent, Maya. Mr. Kramer, I know this might seem forward, but for the sake of Athena's career, we need you to sign this NDA. It's to keep your relationship strictly confidential. It also states that you agree not to interfere with her career or personal life in the future. Cora! You're the face of the company right now, Athena, our biggest star. If word gets out that you're married, it could be a major blow to your career.
I keep my word. For 3 years, I haven't been involved in a single thing that has to do with her. So you and your company can relax.
He's obviously planning something. We can't just let this go, Athena. Didn't you hear him? He hasn't gotten involved in anything. How many men could be married to me for 3 years and still treat me with the kind of formal respect you'd give a stranger? Ever wonder why you, or anyone in the media, could never dig up a single thing about my marriage? Because he was the one who pulled strings to keep it under wraps. It seems he really doesn't have any feelings for me. When we first got married, he never pushed for anything. I thought it was a game, playing hard to get. That's why I went into showbiz. I wanted to test him. Turns out, he really just doesn't care.
Stand up if you ready. Hands up if you ready. Say it loud if you ready. This our time, we run it. Clap your hands if you ready. Stomp feet if you ready. Let it be cause you ready. This our time, we run it. Back on top feeling great. Back on top.
Seth, how you doing? All settled in Metro City? Sir, I need to rejoin the Wolf Pack. I knew you'd call.
But I didn't expect it to be this soon.
He spoke as if giving Seth a hint. Sir, I'm forged to kill, protect. I am nothing if not a soldier without borders. Wherever I go, whatever I do, my fingers keep trying to find the trigger. This world is not for me, and I just can't bring myself to get into a police uniform. I'll probably be just a boot here. I want to make a real difference. Seth sneered.
Then focus on the job you have right now. It's a really important one.
The instructor said, hinting at something. Seth sensed it. What do you mean? He shot back with curiosity.
You're there for a reason.
The instructor couldn't hold back anymore.
The Metro PD is infested with corrupt cops. Can't blame them. The only other option they have is death. The gangs are all but powerful. The system is broken and it needs our best. Clean up Metro City, become the top cop, and regain your strength. I'll see to it that you rejoin the Wolf Pack.
Seth was shook. This was something to think about.
That's exactly why we've sent you there. If you do all of that, joining the Wolf Pack would be a cakewalk.
The instructor concluded. Seth remained silent. He knew he'd to take the shot.
Remember, I didn't tell you this.
The instructor concluded and hung up. Seth couldn't believe his ears. His dream wasn't over. Not just yet. He felt relieved. Seth headed back to the penthouse of his high-rise. His father, Caleb Kramer, had made some investments early in his life, and they were paying off. Standing on the balcony, he lit a cigarette. A few minutes later, the building manager came up in person. I need you to pull the listing for the top floor. I'll be staying in Metro City for a while, so I'll be using it myself, Seth said. The building manager let out a visible sigh of relief and replied instantly, no problem. Lakeside condos are in high demand, but a buyout to break the lease is usually an offer most people are happy to take. Seth nodded. Appreciated. The manager handed Seth a business card before walking out. Seth stubbed out his cigarette and headed to the city's Bureau of Public Safety, recommendation letter in hand. With his military background, he was a sure shot for a spot at the local precinct. After a quick look at the letter, the director didn't make a big deal of it, just motioned for a supervisor to get Seth fitted for a uniform. After changing, he caught his reflection in the mirror, a small smile touching his lips. Both jobs serve the country, he thought. I'll just treat this like a training period, fighting crime while my stats are stuck at C-class. The day I hit a class again is the day I rejoin the Wolfpack division. He straightened his uniform and walked out to the precinct lobby. Just then, a patrol officer stumbled out of the break room, looking completely wiped from the night before. His face was bruised. Sir, I gotta request a day off. The supervisor frowned. Then who's covering your patrol tonight? Whoever wants it can have it. I'm done. What if I take the day shift instead? The guy shot back. And how's that supposed to work? Your beat, the Lakeside District, is already a hot spot. Who's supposed to cover you if you take off? Any of you want to take his night shift? He asked his officers. Almost all of them shook their heads immediately. The officer pointed to the fresh bruises on his face. Look at this. These have the guts to assault a cop in public. I tried to de-escalate a few situations, and this is what I got for it. One of the rich pricks even threatened my badge. The supervisor sighed again. I know it's tough, but you know how it is. You get these kids with short fuses and a sense of entitlement. Just hang in there a few more days. I'll talk to the director and see if we can get more bodies out there to lighten the load. It was clear Metro City had a seriously dark underbelly. That's when Seth spoke up. "I'll swap with him." The bruised officer's eyes lit up. "Sir, if someone's willing to take my spot, I'll take days for now. No problem." The supervisor's brow furrowed. "Kramer's green. He doesn't know the area. I want him on logistics for a while. It's fine, sir. I'll have to deal with it sooner or later. Might as well be now. I'll take his night shift," Seth said. "All right, it's settled. Seth, come in at 9:30 tonight. You'll be on till 8 a.m., the supervisor grumbled, not wanting to argue anymore. Seth Kramer stood and nodded. Honestly, Seth was glad he didn't have to work days. He could use the free time to hit the gym and focus on his recovery. The day shift would have made training impossible. He headed back to his condo. Stepping out of the elevator on the top floor, he was greeted by the sight of a woman who looked like a model from behind. She had the kind of build that grabbed your attention. She heard the elevator ding and turned around. Her face wasn't just good, it was beautiful. Her eyes widened when she saw Seth pull out his keys for the door next to hers. "You're the one moving in, aren't you?" Seth gave her a curious look. Jean shorts and a loose-fitting shirt hung on her frame just right. She had the look of a sweet, quiet girl-next-door type. "That's me," he replied. The words were barely out of his mouth before she absolutely stunned him. The girl lunged, grabbing his wrist. In a fluid motion, she executed a perfect over-the-shoulder throw, and Seth, completely blindsided, hit the floor hard. He was taken aback. He never would have pegged the delicate-looking woman for someone who could toss a 6'3" guy like him over her shoulder. She bent down, gritting her teeth. "I was perfectly happy here until you showed up. You think you can just waltz in here with your money and do whatever you want?" She shot at Seth. Seth just smirked, shaking his head. "What's so funny?" she sneered. In one explosive movement, Seth planted his feet and launched himself up, reversing the move and flipping her over his shoulder. The moment he grabbed her wrist, she tried to counter, but she was instantly outmatched. His strength and technique were on another level. Shocked, she lost her footing and went down. He dusted himself off. "Like I said," he replied smoothly, "if you want to try that again, I'm happy to return the favor." "Are you even a man? You'd hit a woman?" she said, getting up. "Look, I'm just the guy moving in. This has nothing to do with me. Your beef is with building management, not me," Seth said. "I just found this apartment. I've only been here a month," she pleaded. The desperation was plain in her voice. "But didn't property management give you 2 months' rent for the trouble? That's not enough." Seth shot back. "I don't want the money. I just don't want to move. Look, how about this? Just let me keep my room. I'll pay you the market rate." "Not interested." "I don't need the money," Seth replied flatly. Her eyes went wide. "What? Are you serious? Most guys would kill for a chance to even talk to me, and you're turning down an offer to live with me?" "Then go find one of them," Seth said. Sensing the very real threat in Seth's cold, deadpan expression, she finally got scared and yanked her arm back. "You think it's easy for a woman out here on her own? I recently got transferred to the Metro City CID, and I'm buried in major cases. When the hell am I supposed to go apartment hunting?" Hearing she was also new to Metro City and a cop, something in him clicked. "Let me see your badge." She straightened up, pulling her credentials from her wallet. "See? I'm not lying." Seth sighed. "You don't know me, and you're willing to move in with me?" Seth inquired. She wasn't stupid. A small, sly smile touched her lips. "That's why I showed you my credentials. You'd have to be a special kind of stupid to mess with a detective, right? I swear I'll find a new place as soon as I can close out my current cases." "Fine, come on in. What's your name?" he asked as he unlocked the door. "Ava Fletcher. What's yours?" "Seth Kramer." "You can stay, no rent. You're on cleaning duty when you get home from work," Seth said flatly. "You're a piece of work." "Fine," Ava huffed. Seth gave a faint smile, but something else happened that intrigued Ava about Seth even more. As they were having a word, a housefly buzzed near Ava's face. Before she could react, a whiff of air passed right across her beautiful face. "What was that?" she questioned, panting. Seth opened his palm. A dead housefly. His reaction time was so quick that Ava could hardly catch a glimpse of the action. "How? How'd you do that?" she asked, baffled. "Fluke, I guess," Seth replied. His speed was so extraordinary that he couldn't believe himself. Ava sensed something was up. But without another word, she snatched her luggage and marched into her new room. As she did so, she took out her phone and typed a message to Marcus, her associate at the CID. I need you to pull all the details on someone. The name's Seth Kramer. The way Seth retaliated in the hallway and the way he caught a fly with his bare hands stirred curiosity in Ava. Outside, just as the drama with Ava seemed to be over, a shouting match erupted in the hallway. A woman with naturally curly hair, full pink lips, and impossibly long eyelashes burst through the elevator. Seth wanted to close the door, but it was too late. The moment her eyes landed on Seth, her beautiful oval face went ice cold. She tossed a thick stack of $100 bills onto the floor. I fly every single day. All I want to do when I get home is sleep. And now building management is telling me I have to move? You think you can throw money around and do whatever you want? Take it. I just want my bed. With that, she stomped past him into the apartment, her heels clicking sharply on the floor. Seth stood there, stunned, watching her disappear into one of the other rooms. The man trailing her, the property manager, looked at Seth with a pained, apologetic expression. 2 of the 4 original tenants are refusing to leave. My boss even tried talking to them himself. They wouldn't budge. Seth was speechless, but the manager looked like he was about to cry, so he just waved him away. Seth really didn't have the time or energy for anything else. He wanted to get some workout done before his first night patrol. He put on his jacket, prepped up his bag, and immediately left for the gym. He had no time to waste. Going from C class to A class was not going to be easy. He would basically have to start from scratch, but he already knew the routine. He loaded 185 pounds on the barbell, a warm-up weight, something he used to move through half asleep. He pushed. The bar went up 3 inches and stopped dead. He tried again. Got it halfway before his arms began shaking like a man twice his age. He racked it before it buried him, sat up, stared at the floor. 185 pounds. He moved to the cables, set it to 60. Embarrassingly light, the kind of weight teenagers used. Grabbed the handle, planted his feet, pulled, his shoulder locked. A deep, wrong resistance, like a machine running on a blown fuse. He let go. A guy nearby glanced over, said nothing, went back to his set. Seth looked at his hands, the hands that had once taken apart 3 armed men in a stairwell without breaking stride. Now they couldn't pull 60 pounds through a cable. He picked up his bag, started walking toward the exit. Then he saw it. The chest fly machine sat in the corner like it was waiting for him. Plate loaded, heavy-duty frame, maximum stack, 400 pounds. Seth remembered the last time he'd done 400 at the Wolfpack facility. His squad leader had walked past without even looking. At that level, it wasn't impressive. It was just Tuesday. He put his bag down. He loaded the full stack, all of it. The guy at the cables looked at the weight, then looked at Seth. Quietly moved to the other side of the gym. Seth sat in the seat and gripped the handles. He wasn't performing. He wasn't proving anything. He was reaching for the man who still existed somewhere underneath the C grade and the parking tickets and the slow wreckage of the last 2 weeks. He pulled. The heat came first. Not exertion. Something deeper. Like his blood had changed temperature. Like something in his body had been waiting for exactly this much resistance to wake up. It started in his palms, moved up his forearms, spread across his chest and shoulders and up the back of his neck until his whole body felt like an engine that had just been given the right fuel for the first time. The handles moved. His vision sharpened. The gym's fluorescent lights burned too bright. He could hear the ventilation hum, the scratch of shoes on rubber flooring 20 feet away. Every sound suddenly dialed to maximum. His heartbeat didn't climb. It detonated, a roar in his ears like standing in front of a speaker at full volume. He wasn't lifting anymore. He was barely holding on. The machine's frame let out a low metallic groan. The lights flickered. Then everything went black. He woke up on the floor 2 hours later. 2 staff members stood over him like they were approaching something that might not be finished. Seth sat up slowly. His body felt hollow, scraped clean. "Sir?" the younger one started. "I'm fine," Seth said. The younger one handed him a bill. It was $3,200, itemized. "What's this for?" Seth blurted. Both the workers looked in the direction of the machine. Seth's gaze followed, only to witness the havoc he'd wreaked. The wall paneling beside the fly machine had caved inward. 3 machines nearby were twisted out of shape, their frames bent at angles no force should be able to produce. The chest fly machine was 8 feet from where it had started, demolished. A wave of fear stung him, but he maintained neutral expressions. Seth folded the bill, put it in his pocket, and walked out. He stood on the pavement and tried to breathe. He had power, somewhere within him. But it had no shape, no control, and he couldn't summon it when he needed it. And when it came on its own, it came without warning and left destruction behind. 185 pounds had beaten him. 400 had taken out a wall. His hands were shaking, not from weakness this time, from something that felt a lot like fear. He pulled out his phone, found the contact. Examiner, West Point Medical Center. It rang twice. Something happened. His voice was flat, controlled. "I need answers, Doc, and I need them now." He went on to narrate the fly-catching incident and the gym debacle. "I don't know what's happening to me, and I sure as hell can't keep attracting attention and suspicion to myself like this." Seth was a little worked up.
Seth, calm down.
The examiner spoke.
The serum that got injected into your body is acting up. The power surge was an anomaly.
He concluded. That broke Seth. For a moment, he was hopeful that the serum was working in his favor. So this was an accident, and the fly incident? Seth mumbled.
Most likely a coincidence, but don't worry, you'll start feeling like yourself soon again. The serum did quite a number on you. You know these things are. It will take time.
The instructor hung up. Just as he hung up on Seth, the examiner immediately dialed the instructor at the Sector 5 command. "Sir, I have good news. Something unexpected has happened. Seth just called." The examiner laid all the information on the instructor.
"And how is this good news?"
The instructor asked, confused. "When Seth was being treated, I had separated the serum from his blood and decided to research it. Out of the 200 test subjects who were administered this serum, Seth is the only survivor. Everyone else died within a week. The serum kills, but Seth's still alive. It weakens a test subject beyond repair, but Seth is still managing. You see where I'm going with this?" he said. The instructor listened to this carefully, paused a second and said,
"You mean the serum's making him capable?"
The instructor asked. "Yes, and in ways we can't imagine or completely understand just yet," the examiner shot back. This unusual but important development now had the instructor's full attention.
"Let's monitor him closely. This could actually amount to something,"
he said and hung up. Why wasn't the examiner straight with Seth? Why'd he call his power episode an anomaly? The question hung in the air. Unaware of this conversation, Seth was going about his new life as he'd planned. He went home and took some rest before joining the night shift. Later that night, Seth showed up at the police station for his shift. As he was changing into his uniform in the locker room, a veteran officer approached him. "You shouldn't have taken the night shift." This officer was what they called a Long John Donut, an old-timer. At night, this part of Metro City is a whole different world. We patrol the wealthiest district, and the people who can afford a nightlife here are usually rich and powerful. We patrol cops learn to stay out of their way. Around here, it's better to let things slide. Don't worry, I'll show you the ropes tonight. Seth nodded. The Long John Donut was Ethan Vance. He was also Seth's field training officer for the night. They called him the Long John Donut because he'd been on the force for years and knew all the local power dynamics, and more importantly, who to leave alone. Ethan and Seth rode in their cruiser over the streets of Metro City. Seth offered him a cigarette and Ethan took it, offering some advice in return. In Metro City, remember 3 rules. Don't mess with men who have tattoos, they're gangsters. Don't stop supercars, they belong to rich people. And don't argue with beautiful women. Seth smiled. Got the first 2, but why beautiful women? Because they belong to both gangsters and the rich. Ethan said once again, Metro City isn't one city, kid. It's 4 zones, north, east, west, and central, each ruled by a different mafia family. The cops only survive here because the mafias allow it. Seth frowned. Then how does one become the best cop in a city like this? Ethan glanced at him. By clearing the 4 zones, taking back the streets from the mafias. But that's a dream. And a suicide. Every cop who's tried to go against the zones never made it home. Ethan's voice mirrored the horrors he'd seen being unleashed by the 4 gangs. Seth didn't reply. He just nodded, taking it all in. They stopped at a night school campus, making sure the last of the students had left safely. Since we're currently patrolling the North Zone, familiarize yourself with... Ethan spoke, but Seth cut him off. "Leader Garner, I know, I read his file." Ethan looked at Seth and mumbled, "The Vaughns." Seth was taken by surprise. Sure, Garner's the leader, but Vaughns are the real deal. Mr. Vaughn is the second in command, and he does all the dirty work for Garner. Killing, kidnapping, massacre, extortion, you name it. The guy's done it all. If you catch Garner but leave out Vaughn, that's a colossal screw-up. He's called the Brass Butcher. Ethan's voice shook as he talked about Vaughn. Seth listened to every detail. They'd been parked on the campus for 10 minutes. Everything seemed normal until it didn't. Seth heard was a voice, a murmur, muffled, like bleeding through a wall. Hearing it, Seth sat up straighter. Ethan was mid-sentence about something. Seth wasn't tracking it anymore. The voices were getting louder, aggressive, multiple, overlapping each other the way arguments did right before they became something worse. Seth looked out the window. Empty street. A convenience store with one customer. A dog. Nothing. He tapped the side of his head. The sound didn't clear. It sharpened. Then his vision did something it had never done before. It pulled, like a compass needle snapping north, a corridor of perception opening up in his mind, tracing a line through buildings and traffic and city noise straight to a single point. He could feel the direction the way you felt heat from a flame. Couldn't explain it. Couldn't argue with it either. 1 mile northeast, music, bass, and underneath it something uglier. You okay? Ethan was watching him. Seth turned. Don't you hear it? Seth grumbled, handling himself. Hear what? Ethan asked blankly. Seth realized this had something to do with the serum. He couldn't let Ethan know. So he decided to follow the voices. We need to move. Northeast. Seems like there's a club about a mile out. A fight's about to happen. Multiple people. It's escalating. Ethan stared at him. You're hearing a fight from a mile away? I know how it sounds, Seth said calmly. Seth. Ethan's voice was slow and careful, the way you talk to someone you weren't sure about. Apex Club is the only thing northeast. That place is full of rich kids blowing their daddy's money. Even if something was going down, we'd have gotten a call. But we haven't, because nothing's happening. Ethan. Seth looked at him straight. Drive. Something in his voice closed the argument. Ethan put the cruiser in gear, grumbling under his breath, but he drove northeast. Neither of them said anything for the rest of the mile. Seth definitely knew something was up, but little did he know things were set in motion in the corner of the city too. Someone had started digging on him. Back at the apartment, Ava was doing the dishes when her phone rang. Ava's phone lit up on the counter. Marcus, she answered before the second ring. Tell me you found something. Silence, the kind that stretches too long. When Marcus finally spoke, his voice was different. Quiet, careful. I found a file. Seth Kramer, former military. Honorable discharge. 8 weeks ago. That's it? Ava asked. That's all what's left of the man Marcus spoke as if he'd unearthed something terrifying. Ava frowned. What does that mean? Marcus exhaled. Ava, I've been doing this for years. I've pulled files on people who run countries from the shadows. On operators who've killed more men than wars. But I've never seen anything like this. It's not a file. It's a Picasso painting with just black everywhere. Ava's heart skipped a beat. His entire service record is gone. Not classified, not redacted, erased. He spoke again. But there is something. He took a pause. One mission. Operation Nightfall. Pripyat Black Site Lab. The way he said it made her skin crawl. Ava's voice barely made it past her throat. Seth was on that team. Seth led that team. He was the first one in and last one out, Marcus revealed. The room tilted. And Ava, he had a call sign. The Reaper. The word hung in the air like smoke. Ava tried to process it. Reaper. Okay, so he's Special Forces? Marcus laughed. It was the sound of a man who'd just been told a joke that wasn't funny. You think this is about Special Forces? Special Forces are what they send when negotiations break down. His voice turned to iron. Reaper is what they sent when Special Forces were already dead. Ava felt her stomach drop. I called in favors, talked to people who sign off on Black Ops, ran the name past them, pause. 2 hung up immediately. The third one said one thing. If you've met the Reaper and you're still breathing, it's because he allowed it. He's a ghost erased from every record. A legend whispered about in rooms with no windows. Marcus wasn't finished. He had one more piece of information. 11 confirmed operations across 7 countries. 280 confirmed kills. 0 casualties on his team. 0. Kat got Ava's tongue. Marcus spoke again. Your roommate isn't a man, Ava. He's a weapon. The kind they only pull out when everything else has failed. If I were you, I'd stay on his good side. The call ended. Ava stood frozen in the kitchen. Her heartbeat was climbing. But she wasn't alone whose heart was thumping. In the dark streets of Metro City, Ethan was practically unable to breathe. As their crews approached the block, they could hear the shouting before they even saw the club. Ethan gunned the engine. He gave Seth a look as if he wanted to ask him how'd Seth know about the scuffle. I don't want to talk about this, Seth said plainly, understanding Ethan's look. They pulled up to find a handful of his colleagues already there, who tried to de-escalate a standoff, but were now standing aside, quietly spectating the fight. Seth and Ethan walked over to the other officers. What's the situation? He asked under his breath. 2 crews of rich kids, one guy spat on another's sports car. It's been a screaming match for the last half hour. With more guys on their side, the spitters weren't about to apologize, so the other side called for backup. Right on cue, several high-end sedans roared into the lot. 7 or 8 more young men piled out, all of them dripping with money and attitude. They pushed their way to the front. Who thinks they can mess with a Rodriguez? One of them yelled. That was their name. With their crew here, the Rodriguez brothers puffed out their chests, staring down the other group. So, you still not gonna apologize? Seeing the tables turn, the other group's leader suddenly looked nervous. Look, it was just some spit. Spit on my car, we'll call it even. I'll even apologize. How about that? But with his backup here, the elder Rodriguez wasn't letting them off that easily. He sneered. If someone spat on my car, I'd have beat his... Rodriguez's younger brother suddenly piped up. The peacemaker shot the brother a dirty look. Did I ask you? Beat it. That sent a fresh wave of anger through Rodriguez. Hey, watch your mouth. That's my brother. Oh, that's your little bro? My bad. Still, you ought to teach him some manners, like when to keep his damn mouth shut. Rodriguez gritted his teeth. You coward. He lunged, aiming a kick. Instantly, his crew was on them, and the whole street exploded into a brawl. The scene devolved into chaos. What's the play here, Ethan? Seth asked. This just got ugly, and it's happening on our watch. We tried talking them down, Ethan replied. Now we call an ambulance. We stay out of it at any cost. Is that it? Seth frowned. I was a soldier. I believe the law applies to everyone. I'm sorry, but I can't just stand here and watch. Seth said, gritting his teeth. He strode forward, his voice booming over the noise. Police! Everybody freeze! You keep fighting, you're all going downtown! Rodriguez's brother stepped away from the scene. They didn't want to escalate the matter. But the other group got even angrier, looking at a cop, asking them to stop. One of the guys sneered at Seth with pure contempt. You gotta be the dumbest beat cop I've ever seen. Beat it! There's no need for all of this, Seth warned. The kid just laughed in his face. You new to Metro City or something? Do you know who I am? I'm Shane Vaughn. You know of my father, right? As soon as the name Vaughn rang in Seth's ears, his blood boiled. Shane stepped forward and flicked Seth's badge with a finger. Are you stupid? Why don't you turn around and go patrol somewhere else, he said, his voice dripping with contempt. A muscle in Seth's jaw twitched. What did you say? The guy leaned in, emphasizing every word. I asked, are you stupid? We didn't light a fire or kill anybody. What are you gonna do, shoot us? Seeing the situation getting worse, Ethan stepped in. Seth, let's go. It's not worth it. Looking at a cop being scared of them, the whole crowd erupted in mocking laughter. But Seth didn't back down. Seth took a deep, steadying breath. Look, it was just spit. No reason for all this. You're adults. Just apologize, shake hands, and we can all call it a night. How about it? Shane was done listening to a cop. So he leaned in and spat, the glob landing right on the breast of Seth's uniform. He put on a show of fake remorse. Oh, I'm so sorry, officer. Total accident. But we're good, right? You said as long as I apologize. A cold fire lit in Seth's eyes. He turned to Ethan. Assaulting an officer is a crime, right? Ethan's stomach dropped. He knew that tone. Shane laughed. So what if it is? Seth moved. One sharp chop to the side of Shane's neck dropped him like a light switch had been flipped. He hit the asphalt hard, gasping, eyes wide with shock. Then rage kicked in and he scrambled back to his feet, face red. You hit me! I'm going to arrest you, Seth said flatly. He grabbed Shane by the collar. The other kids closed ranks immediately, blocking the path to the cruiser. Shane was still grinning through the pain. You just made the worst mistake of your life. Seth didn't let go. Listen up. I'm telling you as a cop, anyone who wants to get involved can come down to the station with me. The rest of you walk away. What happens next is on you, one of them sneered. What are you gonna do, get physical? So you're all obstructing a police officer. Seth's voice dropped. Good. Ethan, call the station. Tell them to send a van. Ethan stared at him. Seth, are you insane? Let it go. Stop poking the bear. Seth shoved Shane back and turned to face the crowd. Come on then. You're just a bunch of trust fund brats living off daddy's money. That did it. All 11 of them charged. Seth drove his boot into the first one's chest, sent him sprawling. He used open palms, not fists. Controlled strikes, nothing that would break bones. One came in swinging. Seth deflected and slapped him across the jaw hard enough to spin him. Another threw a kick. Seth chopped the knee and the kid folded with a howl. Someone grabbed at his arm. Seth twisted, spun the kid around, and sent him face first into the pavement with a boot to the lower back. Less than a minute. All 11 down. Seth dragged Shane, half-conscious, drooling, over to a nearby railing and cuffed him to it like a bike lock. Ethan and the backup officers just stared. The paddy wagon doors slammed shut with a hollow, metallic sound. In no time, Seth reached the precinct with his arrests, locked them up, and went back to patrol like nothing happened. The next morning, everyone was talking about Seth's feat. No one had ever arrested the city's richest kids before. The precinct was filled with noise. Everyone was talking about what Seth had done. Some admired him. Others looked scared. For him, for themselves. In general, the mafia had a rule. If one cop makes your life hell, you return the favor to the whole brass. Then, a line of black cars stopped outside the station. The air turned tense. Out stepped Mr. Vaughn with his team of lawyers. These legal eagles were the best at what they did. As soon as he stepped inside, the precinct fell quiet. His tall and broad frame was enough to deter anyone. As soon as Shane saw his father and his lawyer, he got up and pleaded from behind the bars. Dad, them up so good that the whole city remembers. Here's the rewrite with maximum tension in every line. Shane leaned close to his lawyer, whispered something. The lawyer's face hardened. He stepped forward. My client has been egregiously mistreated. If you cannot provide a reasonable explanation for his detainment, we will see you in court. Through his office window, Director Harris watched the lawyers circle like vultures. His phone was already out. Get down here, now. Seth walked in 20 minutes later. The room went silent. Every officer turned. Their faces said the same thing. You're either the bravest man alive or the dumbest. The moment Seth appeared, the kids in the cell shot to their feet. That's him! That's the guy! Mr. Vaughn moved fast. His lawyers formed a wall around Seth before he'd taken 3 steps. I want an explanation. Vaughn's voice was ice. My son was arrested, beaten, detained overnight. You may wear a badge, officer, but he has rights, and I'm here to collect. Seth didn't look at him. He pushed through the lawyers like they weren't there, walked straight to the cell, looked Shane dead in the eye. So, you don't want to leave? Shane's lip curled. What, cops can just beat people up now? I didn't beat anyone. Seth's voice was flat. Dangerous. Those are resisting arrest injuries. You earned every bruise. A lawyer stepped forward, chin up. On what grounds did you arrest my client? Public disturbance, resisting arrest, assaulting an officer. Seth paused. Let it hang. Spitting on a cop is assault. In that moment, I could have used lethal force. The lawyer didn't blink. That's your story. Our clients say something very different. My partners were there. They'll back me up. Shane laughed. Cold. Mean. Your partners? Why would anyone believe them? You're all in this together. The door to Harris's office swung open. Director Harris stepped out, instructor trailing behind him. The tension in the room thickened. Harris forced a smile. It didn't reach his eyes. Gentlemen, surely we can clear up this misunderstanding. The lead lawyer didn't smile back. Director Harris, take a good look at my client and his friends, arrested, beaten, detained. I trust you have an explanation for why one of your officers arrested my client on fabricated charges and used excessive force. Harris glanced at Seth. Seth didn't flinch. They were brawling in public. I ordered them to stop. They refused. They insulted me. Then Shane spat on me. That's when force was authorized. His friends tried to interfere with the arrest, so I brought them all in. The lawyer's smile was sharp as a blade. Convenient story, Officer Kramer. But where's your proof? Because in court, evidence is the only thing that matters. The instructor grabbed Seth's arm, pulled him aside. His voice was low. Just apologize, end this. The director and I will smooth it over. These people are connected, Seth. This heat will burn you alive. Seth stared at him like he'd spoken a foreign language. Apologize? To them? Vaughn's expressions turned cold. This rookie wasn't backing down, not even an inch. He looked at his lawyer, nodded once. The lawyer stepped forward. My client suffered emotional distress. His reputation has been damaged. His physical injuries are documented. If the department wishes to avoid a lawsuit, we are prepared to accept compensation. $500,000. He paused. For each of them. Harris's face went white. $500,000 each, that's $6 million. Vaughn's smile was cold as winter. Of course, if the department can't afford it, there's another solution. Officer Kramer takes full responsibility. Every cop in the room looked at Seth. $6 million. No one had that. No one could pay that. Harris stayed quiet. He wouldn't throw his man to the wolves. Not yet. Vaughn leaned forward, voice soft now. Deadly. Why make this difficult, Director? Let the rookie take the fall. You've got a thankless job. I get it. But my son was beaten. Spent a night in a cell. That's not something an apology fixes. This is about reputation. Harris's jaw tightened, but he didn't give in. Vaughn's voice turned to steel. You won't settle? Fine. Then we sue. My lawyers will camp here until someone from the main office comes down. All 12 of my clients stay right where they are. Then they stay for 15 days, Seth said. The room froze. The lawyers turned as one. Officer Kramer, your attitude is appalling. You cannot legally hold my client for... Who said anything illegal? Seth walked to his desk, pulled open a drawer, held up a flash drive. The room went dead quiet. Funny thing, I went to the Department of Traffic this morning, pulled the traffic cam footage myself. I figured you'd try to bribe someone to make it disappear. So I made a backup right after I booked them. This was Seth's mic drop moment. Vaughn's face was drained of color. Seth hit play. The footage rolled, clear as daylight. Shane spitting, the brawl, the kids charging, all of it. The lawyers' faces turned white. Behind bars, the 12 kids looked confused. Then they saw their lawyers' expressions, and the dread hit them like cold water. You want to blow this up? Seth's voice was quiet now. Lethal. Fine, I'll take this to court. The lead lawyer's jaw worked. Finally, $1 million. Final offer. Nobody leaves until 15 days are up. Seth's smile was razor thin. Behind the bars, Shane scrambled to his feet. The lawyer leaned in close, whispered fast. Shane, we tried buying the footage this morning. He already had copies. He has everything. Video, audio. It's airtight. We have zero chance in court, which means he can keep you here. Shane's face went pale. One of the guys lunged for the cell door, still half open. Seth moved, kicked it shut. The clang echoed through the precinct like a gunshot. Vaughn's voice dropped. No negotiation left, just threat. Watch yourself, Officer Kramer. Make a deal. Walk away. Let this go. Seth's grin widened. Slow. Dangerous. I didn't become a cop to make deals with low-life criminals such as yourself, Vaughn. I became one to lock up the likes of you. You need to learn where you stand. He pocketed the key. Vaughn was shaking now, rage boiling over. No one had ever humiliated him like this. I tried, Director Harris. His voice was ice. But your boy wants war, so war it is. He turned to Seth. Watch your back. In this city, people get jumped. Anywhere, anytime. Sweat beaded on Harris's forehead. Seth didn't move, didn't blink. Worry about yourself. You just made an enemy you can't buy. And if it comes to a fight, you won't survive it. Vaughn's face went crimson. He stood there shaking, fists clenched so tight his knuckles went white. Then he turned and stormed out. His lawyer scrambled to follow. This isn't over, he roared. You hear me, Kramer? You're dead! The whole department's dead! The door slammed behind him. The precinct went silent. Then slowly, heads turned towards Seth. Some of the officers had admiration in their eyes, the kind you reserve for someone who just did something impossibly brave. Others looked worried, scared even, because they knew what came next. You don't humiliate a man like Vaughn and walk away clean. Director Harris stepped close, kept his voice low. Seth, you just poked a hornet's nest with a stick. You know that, right? Seth didn't answer. He was still watching the door where Vaughn had disappeared. Outside, Vaughn climbed into the back of his black sedan. The door shut with an expensive thud. He sat there in the leather seat, breathing hard. The rage hadn't cooled. It had sharpened into something more dangerous. "I won't let this go unanswered. The kid has to pay," he said, looking at his lawyer, and then stretched out his hand. His assistant, seated beside him, placed a phone in his palm without a word. Vaughn dialed. It rang once. A voice answered. Calm, professional, no greeting. Vaughn spoke 4 words. Seth Kramer, Metro PD, $20 million. On the other end of the line, a man sat at a computer in a dim office somewhere far from Metro City. He repeated the words back slowly, confirming. Seth Kramer, Metro PD, $20 million. A younger man standing behind him straightened, grabbed a marker, walked to a board on the wall covered in names, locations, numbers. He wrote at the very top, Seth Kramer, Metro PD, $20 million. The man at the computer didn't hesitate. He hit send. Somewhere in Tokyo, a Yakuza lieutenant sat alone in a private tea room. The steam from his cup rose in slow curls. The city hummed outside the sliding paper doors. His phone vibrated. He glanced down. His hand stopped mid-reach for the cup. He pocketed the phone, stood, left the tea untouched. Likewise, in a rebel-held compound deep in the African interior, a warlord sat cleaning a rifle by firelight. His lieutenant entered the tent, handed him a satellite phone. The warlord looked at the screen, read it once, then smiled. 20 million, he said softly. For one cop, he stood, shouted an order in a language a few of his men understood immediately. In a basement bar in Moscow, a man with a scar running down the side of his face sat nursing vodka. His phone lit up on the table. He read the message, drained his glass in one swallow, left cash on the bar without counting it. The bartender watched him go and said nothing. He knew better. Back in Metro City, Seth stood in the precinct surrounded by fellow officers who didn't know whether to congratulate him or start writing his eulogy. He didn't know it yet. But across the world, in Tokyo, in Africa, in Moscow, and in a dozen other cities where violence was a profession and money talked louder than morals, dangerous people had just received the same message. A cop named Seth Kramer was worth $20 million. And in their world, that kind of money didn't go unanswered. The hunt had begun. Seth just didn't know he was the prey yet. How long does Seth have before the first killer arrives? When the serum makes him too weak to lift 185 pounds one moment and strong enough to destroy a gym the next? How will he fight his way out of this? Can a man with an unstable, dying body survive the world's most dangerous hunters? And with his physical abilities spiraling out of control, will Seth ever make it back into Wolfpack? Or will the serum kill him before he gets the chance? The hunt has begun. Hi, Seth here. If you are wondering what happens next, then download the Pocket FM app and listen to the exciting episodes of Hearts in the Crossfire now with the link in the description.
Pocket FM. To unlock all the episodes, click the link in bio.